Miracle. And it's come to my attention that none of my videos get any views unless they're Legend of Zelda related. So I'm going to capitalize on that. I'm going to show you how we make a Ocarina of Time ocarina song. Before we begin, I need to assure you that I am well aware that Shady did a video just like this. I do remember watching it and being like, that's an awesome idea. That's actually how I first found out about Sword Stando. I want to pay credit to him. I have not watched that since I first watched it, and that's on purpose because I did not want to copy it. It's obviously going to copy it to some extent because I'm copying his idea, but I'm hoping that it doesn't copy the video entirely. I'm also just going to leave it in the comments so you can watch his video because I think it's cool, but this is my take on it. Right, so here we are. I'm going to play you a version, just one that I did now, and then I'm going to play you another one as I'm going to write it with you to sort of talk about what's actually doing here. So this first one. Very cool. Okay, so what did we do? So we started off with what you would play on the ocarina, which is normally a very repetitious pattern. There are a few that aren't, that really just are different, but most of them are like the same 3 notes, or like the same 4 notes, but it's like a repetition of 2. It'd be like beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, or something like that. If you've played the game, I'm sure you'll know this. It's probably done intentionally to make it easy to remember for the player, so they don't have to keep opening up the start menu and they can sort of remember these patterns instead of. But yeah, so that's what we've got here, just 3 notes. And I kind of wanted to play it in as how you would do it, how you like, you know, make it a bit more realistic. This is not the actual notes. I could not work it out for the life of me. And it's not the right instrument either, but it gets the effect done. Then normally as it goes in the game, just to make it a bit more in the game, a bit more like that, we've just got the full melody brought out. So the full melody, as you can see, is it starts off very similar. Well, it starts off the exact same way, but then it sort of branches off into a second part. Now, something important here is normally there's another main instrument in these tracks. In the early game, I think a lot of the time it starts like this, where you will play the melody and then another instrument will take over later. And so that's what I've kind of got going here with these 2. There we go. This plays the main melody, and then that one comes in after and takes over a counter melody. The B part. Yeah. These are just strings doing, because everything else is kind of background. There's not other important stuff really. It's kind of is just string pads. So I kind of wanted to add a horn pad just to bit of a nice timbre, a bit nicer than just this. Has a little bit of warmth. It's basically doing the exact same thing. Yeah, you can see it's doing literally the exact same thing without the high parts. We wanted that just to be in the strings. We would have gotten a bit clogged, and we want that warmth of the horns as opposed to like the piercing highness. Even though it's like samples, like MIDI kind of sounds, it's still the same instrumentation laws apply, I guess. Here we've got the harp, just doing classic harp stuff, doing some arpeggios up here in the right hand, and in the left hand we're just doing a classic waltz thing to kind of keep us grounded in that 3/4. but it's all very simple. It's not like I'm not doing anything fancy here. You can see it all follows the same chords. Like you can see here that there's literally just I've copied and pasted kind of thing. I did a bit of changes here, and but it's basically just all the same thing. It's not super fancy. It's not amazing, but you can hear what's done. So if we take that same logic and we do it again, we've got to start with picking some notes. So I want this one to be in 4/4, and I want it slowed down a tiny bit more. All right, now we just make something up. So we're just going to take something super simple. I'm going to change that so it's in 4/4. Let it in 3/4 again. There we go. Alright. So now we've got our motif. We're going to do it the same way, just so that we've got the same idea going. And now, a very standard practice. So now a very standard practice in composition is to extend this melody. So what have we got? Firstly, Firstly, as you can see, it's written in either G major or E minor. Last time I started in the minor key, and when the next instrument came in, I moved to the major key, and I really like that change. It's really nice, and I think it gives that very Legend of Zelda vibe, because Legend of Zelda is quite a happy game, but at the same time, especially in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, where you use that ocarina very heavily, there's lots of dark things, and it's quite a tragic story. So I think they use that a lot, where they will start off in the minor key to make whoever's song it is sad, but then they'll bring it back at the end of the song to be like, yeah, but there's still hope, So I did that the first time, but this time I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to start off major, go into minor, and then come back at the very end of the song to finish off on a major, because they pretty much always finish major. So, okay, so now I've got just a basic melody following that motif. So it still kind of has that 3/4/5, which is kind of hard to shake. So I'll have to do something about that in the accompaniment. But we've got this. So that's obviously going to do that. And now we're going to go to the other instrument, which is going to take over. So I don't want to use this one, I'm going to use a different instrument just to change it up. Maybe we'll settle on guitar. So that is very 3/4. Very 3/4. I don't know if I can change that actually. Okay. I don't want to. I can't not make this 3/4. And in the end, I just gotta change. So now it's like this weird 6-bar phrase thing. I mean, to be fair, the other one was weird, and also they write a lot of weird phrases. But what was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's not right. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I made it right. Okay, you know what? This one's just gonna suck. And now, of course, we just add the other instruments. I am fighting an absolute battle here, trying to make this not 3/4. Okay, so I just did it, as you heard, and I kind of want to make the ocarina come back in again. Not often it does this. Most of the time, if it's going to be doing that, it's going to be a duet sort of thing, and they're going to go like back and forth consistently. But I'm just gonna do it to bring it in at the end, and maybe bring in a bit more of this melody, because normally they do just kind of leave the melody behind when they go onto this part B. But I kind of don't want to do that, so I'm gonna bring back the melody a little bit, even if it's just as simple as like, I don't know, bring in this part for that last bar or something. And we're really just sort of testing things out here, seeing how they work, and seeing if we get any lucky or anything. I mean, yeah, I think we can even add some chords in there, so we can kind of make it do a more of a harmonic part there. We've got F, A, C. So I think I'm gonna add a drum into here, because maybe a tambourine and a drum or something, I don't know. So I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna tie it up, and then we're done. So that's the finished result. Yeah, I mean, I think it sounds kind of pretty good. Aside from the fact that I think this will actually get me views as opposed to the other stuff, I do think there's a lot we can learn from the way they write this. It is very simple. As I was saying before, the reason I think is because it's easier for the player, but it's very simple motifs that they use and that they build into some of the most like iconic songs in video game history. So, or pieces, whatever. Basically, yeah, I think so hope you liked it. Hope you can use some of these in your own compositions. Again, it doesn't have to be this kind of style or this kind of samples or whatever, but to try and use a small motif, a very simple motif, and in these cases, not even a good motif, and build it into something. And you can see you can make a very tangible, complete song, or track, piece, whatever. So